Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the last episode of this podcast. Yes, the Mpampis Plus podcast episode 3 is finally here. So, guys, welcome back to another amazing podcast. I said this again, very sorry. Yeah, I'm back. So, in this podcast, I'm going to talk about the fact that I'm shutting down the podcast and the big question: will the podcast ever come back? So, before I begin all this, make sure to like this podcast, of course, on Spotify, to rate my page, leave your thoughts on the Q&A section, and also on YouTube at Mpampis Plus on YouTube. It has 51 subscribers. Also, like and subscribe to the video, share it with your friends. And now, let's get into the video. So, first of all, I wanted to mention, of course, it might sound weird to you guys, but yeah, this whole thing was an experiment. I made 2 episodes on Spotify, and I wanted to see how famous I could become. Well, unfortunately, I didn't become famous a bit, and, and to be honest with you, I'm not surprised at all that I did not get a single person, new viewers at all on my Spotify and even on my YouTube viewers and stuff, and I got like nothing. So yeah, it's very sad that I didn't manage to get anyone, any new evidence, audience. Actually, I'm very sorry because let me tell you, my first podcast had 23 views and my second podcast had 5 views. Yes, guys, 5 views, and that was like from like 2 weeks ago. And of course, I stopped uploading, obviously, because I did not make consistent videos because obviously I don't get views anymore, and my channel has been dying. So yeah, it was, and to be clear with you guys all, this was an experiment. I never had the time to be able to make it, my all-time job. Of course, if I was a big YouTuber, for example, like 20,000 subscribers to 50,000, I could make a podcast. But I wanted to see what could happen. Of course, on Spotify, I have the support of my friends, and I'm very glad that I have you guys. Like, I have got 3 5-star reviews, and I'm also very glad I got a two. But unfortunately, it did not meet my expectations. Now, I think the hardest part is shutting down this podcast. You guys know that of course I actually had a lot of more ideas, which I will actually make a bonus episode, which I promised you guys, with canceled ideas and scripts um that were meant to become a podcast episode. But of course, actually no, I won't talk about it on Spotify. On YouTube, I'm gonna make a video explaining to you guys, and of course, I'm gonna have a way better, recording software, for example, OBS. And yeah, obviously, man, it's really sad that I'm shutting down this podcast because I had very high expectations. I did not expect, first of all, I didn't expect to get 3 5 stars from from my freaking podcast. Like only one person voted, and like two of them were like brand new, which came out from strangers. Actually, I don't know if my friends, if my 3 friends voted. I haven't voted because I don't want to vote actually, because I obviously think that it's not that high effort like other ones. But man, I'm very glad that you guys have actually managed to do something like that. So, now, why am I shutting down? Why am I shutting down the podcast? Well, the reason why I'm shutting it down is because I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to even make podcasts to talk, and I don't have the topics. For example, one of them was actually I'll tell you right now. One of the scripts that I had, which are now unfinished, unfinished slash unused. It's about the rise and fall of World. Man, I can't even say it. World of Tanks Blitz. That game. You guys know I am an old player of World of Tanks Blitz. Mando is too. Mando and Blitz. And obviously that game. is dead to me. Unfortunately, the game has died. And I was talking about the rise and the fall and my experience with Blix and even Manuel Blix, and I had a special chapter for him, but obviously I did not. I didn't do it because I thought that that was going to be too much effort, obviously. And another thing to talk about is obviously how long I was talking. I actually wanted this episode to be like an hour long, but obviously I don't know what to talk about for an hour. Like not gonna say the same things all over again. I'm not gonna repeat myself, not being repetitive about talking about console wars and stuff. No, I don't want to talk about that. There's a second episode for that, which is episode 2, console wars and consoles in general. But obviously, guys, I don't know what to expect from such like a small following. But actually, I didn't even expect for like for example episode 1, which I'll show you. I will talk about it right now. I think I want to say how long it was. Well, that episode was 19 minutes and 46 seconds. Well, the second episode was 27 minutes. Well, I wanted this episode, my last one, to be 35 minutes and stuff. But once again, I said before, I don't know what to talk about because obviously, my podcast is not a big deal. Obviously, for my channel, it doesn't impact Spotify, it doesn't impact YouTube. Obviously, I wanted to expand to Apple Music and stuff, but of course, I can't do that because Apple, of course, Apple doesn't let me do that. But yeah, yeah, it's official. I'm shutting down the podcast now. And another big question that you may have, you know, my friends and some new viewers, will my podcast ever come back? Obviously, I don't know. If if I grow on your subscribers and our viewers, I will make it possible to come back. And actually, I have a date in mind, but obviously, I'm not gonna reveal to you guys. I might reveal with a date, a huge date, like on my announcements, on a video announcement, a trailer and stuff. But obviously, I don't know. I don't know when my comeback will be because um obviously, yeah, I don't know what to talk about. Except for example, like an accent podcast, for example, FK with Ninja. That was very, very awesome. I think it's one of the best podcasts I've ever seen in my life. 4.9 stars out of 5 and 1.3K reviews. Very sorry. It's awesome. It really is. It's awesome that I can actually um, experiment with new stuff and even talk about things that I care about new things that surprise me and stuff. For example, on episode 1, I was talking about why I started YouTube and how I started gaming. That was very, very awesome. On episode 2, I talked about console wars. And obviously, for 4 more episodes, I want to talk about, for example, like the 2000s and the 1990s pop music, etc. But of course, yeah, guys, those are like canceled scripts. I never wanted to make them, nor I wanted to do something like that because I feel like that could take a long time to film. Anyways, honestly, I don't know what else to talk. I believe that it's the end now, and actually, I want to see. I want to say again. I'm not sure which category I have on Spotify. We'll check out, guys. Very sorry. Yes, I have it on the technology, on the technology part, and obviously, do you know what? I don't think that is worth. I think gaming should also be a category too because yeah, Spotify doesn't have it. Thank you, Spotify. Yeah, once again, um, thank you, Spotify. So, guys, this is all I want to talk about. My dreams of building a huge career on Spotify is over, I guess. I'm not sure when this will come back. It's awesome. Obviously, that I managed to even experiment with new stuff, and it's great. It's awesome that I had that I had the opportunity to even begin making this podcast. I have the freedom. I have the free time. I have everything that I need in my power to start. It's awesome, man. It really is awesome. But guys, unfortunately, this is how it ends. This is how episode 3, how the Pampis Mad Plus podcast ends. Unfortunately, this is how it ends. And yeah, you can't do anything about it. So guys, thank you so much for watching the final chapter of this podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening on YouTube, for watching, and for Spotify listeners for listening. Make sure to rate my page, like and subscribe on, leave a comment, share it. Of course, share it on Spotify and like and subscribe on my YouTube page. So guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. See you on the next video on YouTube. Goodbye.